Start.
Okay, hello and welcome to Famicast 129. Yes, your Famicast for the early part of July 2018. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today I'm joined by James Charlton.
Welcome to Sweatsville, mother funsters.
Yeah, I think
it's summer.
Yeah, before I turned on the AC in this little tiny room, it was something like 36 Celsius upstairs.
In American, that's what?
Like 95.
2,000 degrees?
2,000 degrees, yeah, close enough. 95, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm also joined by Ty Sugart.
Hey, it's me, your boy. Back from the Forbidden Realm.
Yeah. Ty had been doing a little bit of traveling, but he's back. Actually, just today, right?
Yeah, mere hours ago.
God.
Wow.
It was me. I probably would have just been asleep by now. I'm probably waking up at like 4 in the morning, but yeah.
No, I slept on the plane.
Yeah. Don't be stupid like me, people. And today, I would say, hey, and it's also Cyrus Delaney, but Cyrus apparently has better things to do, like, work a job or something. I don't know.
Loser.
Whatever. Yeah, loser. But we have a very special guest today. Mr. Japanese Nintendo himself, Brian, has joined us. Brian, welcome to the Famicast.
Hi there. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Good to have you on, man.
Yeah, likewise. It's been a while. I should really have been here a long time ago, but I'm finally here.
Yeah.
When did you legally change your name to Brian Japanese Nintendo? Is that a recent thing, or
what, on Twitter?
No, in real life.
Oh, is that not okay?
That's your real life.
Yeah.
Wow, you're Mr. Nintendo. Can you put me in the next Mario game?
Yeah.
Yay!
I wish I could. I'd have Toad and Smash straight away, but I don't really have any.
He is in Smash. He just gets punched in the face when
I know.
Peach brings him out.
Well, actually, he's got more of a fight now.
Was he?
But yeah. In the new trailer, he was punching. He did a swing.
Okay. So she whips him out and he punches her.
Yeah, he's more hardcore now.
Okay. Confirmed. Toad, hardcore.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome.
All right. Well, per usual, we're going to go ahead and start up the show with some new business. And Brian, would you mind kicking the show off for us? Just tell us about something that you've been playing recently.
Okay. So I don't really have much time to play many games, but I have been playing the WarioWare Gold demo on the European 3DS eShop.
Gold!
And it is unbelievably good. In a way, it's a shame it's not on Nintendo Switch. I don't mean like one of those people that want every game on the Switch, just because it would probably sell more. And so the demo, it has features from the first 3 WarioWare games. So the original, which was button controlled, then the Game Boy Advance sequel, the twist and tilt one.
Oh wow!
And then the DS touchscreen. And so there's 3 areas in the demo. Well, there's 4 areas in the demo. Those 3 versions, and then a best of, and it's just unbelievably good. The graphics are as sharp as you can imagine for as you could hope for in a 3DS game, and the sound, it's Wario is fully voiced. And I'm not sure if it means anything to young people who play video games today, but I am so impressed by voice in video games. It's just like from the very first muffled voice, and then in Street Fighter 2 with the round 1 fighting the Hadouken, I was so impressed. I find it, and to hear Wario fully speak, it just blows me away.
So you mean it's actually talking like full sentences?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's unbelievable. The presentation is as you can expect for a Nintendo game, and it's probably going to be one of the games of the year, and it's probably going to be very overlooked. But if the demo comes to Japan or America, I download it straight away and really check out the game when it's released. End of July.
Has it been confirmed for a Western release? Oh, it's called something different, isn't it? Like Gold.
Yeah, the game is WarioWare Gold in the West, and Japan it's Made in Wario Gorgeous.
Right, there you go.
Infinitely better.
You've got to use the Japanese names on the Famicast. That's the law that we have.
Yeah, apart from if I can't say them.
Gorgeous. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Like the celebrity Gorgeous. Talked about him last year at TGS. It's a guy that's dressed up as like a pirate in like white face paint and has a star in his face.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Or Danny hallucinated him.
Or it's actually me.
Wow.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Brian, I was just admiring your room that you have there behind you, because I've got like a Labo. I got a Labo poster, but you got actual Labo boxes up there.
Oh, up here, yeah. Now this is my loft, so the Labo is already substituted. It's just now in the loft. It's just relegated rather to the loft. It's
So you actually did you buy both sets or just?
I had to.
Wow.
I think it's an ingenious idea, but the games are not up to scratch. I mean, the robot kit is the worst of the two. It's just
really.
It's just you're basically just marching around like a robot and punching things. It's not really much gameplay. The other one is a lot more fun, but it's kind of like the Street Pass games for 3DS. They're fun for what they are, but they're kind of short experiences.
Yeah.
So
the motorbike one looks kind of fun. Like you can like make your own tracks and everything, right?
Yeah, that's fun. But I'm not very I'm not very good at making things. So I didn't make any of the Labo kit. My friend did. He made it.
Oh, okay. Wow. I was going to
just watched.
Did you pay him?
No, because he got to play on it first. So.
Okay. Wow. Amazing. Slave labor for Labo. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. So I noticed you have quite a big physical Switch collection there behind you. I don't know what that first game is actually. What is that first game?
Cave Story.
Oh, Cave Story. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's I haven't got as many as I'd like.
So you're a physical game kind of guy, or?
I'm half and half. I'm 1 foot in the digital door, but I can't go all the way in just yet.
I kind of feel you on that. I mean, for me, the benefit of Japan, and I'm not sure about the UK and and America, stuff like that, but in Japan, you can get like those download cards for select games at convenience stores and retail places and stuff. So I try to do that. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. You get some kind of a physical item, but you still get it digitally, which is amazing. I love that.
Do we have those in the UK? The download cards?
Yeah, we do have. We do have them, but they're always the full price. You never seem to get a discount at all. It's just, if I was paying the full price, I would rather have the physical box.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Well, back in the day, it would make less sense because you're not getting a manual, and you're not getting the disc or the card. But you don't really get any extra stuff these days, do you? In physical stuff, it's just literally a plastic case, and that's it.
Yeah, well, Cave Story is Cave Story. So the Japanese company Piki, they have unbelievable packages. I've got Cave Story, Wonder Boy, and I think Blade Strangers and a few more are coming out. By then, they add in a manual and a gift and whatever. So that's worthwhile. But the Nintendo ones, it's just appalling.
Yeah.
I don't full manual. I don't want to go online and search for a PDF. It's
I know. It's like, it's not even, as far as I know, you can't even access it from the game, which at least you can do with 3DS and Wii U, which is great.
Yeah.
But actually, that's a good bit of trivia to find out. Actually, what was the last Nintendo game to have a full, color manual? I think I've got a few Wii U games that have that. I'm sure if I go through my Wii U games, some of those have got manuals in.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I now think every 3DS one, maybe not recently, but they did initially.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but they kind of phased it out near the end of the Wii U life.
Yeah.
And, definitely nothing on the Switch, right?
I mean, how much money can they be saving,
Right. The Switch cases do have like a clip. This is the only physical game I own, is Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they don't actually have a clip to hold anything, do they? Well, I guess, no, they do. On the underside, they've got some clips here to kind of put a manual in, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah, I mean, why bother?
This is the ARMS card, by the way.
Okay.
ARMS card, that download card. Cool. So actually, Brian, Danny totally skipped over your actual, intro and who you are and what you do and everything. Just like, here's Brian. Hey, that's
Oh, yeah.
Brian. What you been playing, man? Like everyone knows Brian. He's like, hey, good old Brian.
You do
Well,
now.
I hope they do.
Yeah, we do now. If you don't, you do now.
Well, people know you. Well, people listen to this podcast. Probably there's a high chance that they've looked at your website at least once, because we talk about your website all the time.
I know.
We use it for news.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unofficial sponsor of Famicast News, Japanese. So, when did you start the website?
It was 2013 in January.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago now. And I got my first Japanese 3DS, I think it was summer of 2012. And I'd been collecting Japanese systems for years, but I didn't have a Japanese Wii U at the time, and I never bought a Japanese Wii. So I was really getting back into Japanese gaming again. And I got Animal Crossing New Leaf like a year before it came out in the West.
Right.
And it's such an unbelievable game, and that kind of inspired me, like, I've got to start blogging again. So I created what was Japanese3ds.com, and then it became Japanese Nintendo a couple of years ago because of obviously the switch to NX at the time, and then mobile gaming, which is just takes up so much of my time with the games that are updated constantly. So
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, no,
you don't have to do that, do you?
No, you know what? Like I feel like a compulsion to do the Fire Emblem Heroes updates, and nobody really likes. I don't get any likes or retweets so much for those at all. But I feel like I have to. So.
We've talked about that on the show before, but like that is actually the one game that people still seem to play. Like I still see people posting screenshots of that. I got this rare character or whatever. I got this 5-star character. I
think because of the audience of my blog, because I was biased towards Animal Crossing and then Tomodachi Collection in 2013. I have a lot of followers that have moved on and play Pocket Camp. So my Pocket Camp posts are probably on the whole more popular than my Fire Emblem Heroes posts, even though I don't think that's reflective of gaming as a whole. I think Fire Emblem Heroes is the more popular game even today.
Have you put any money into any other Nintendo apps?
Oh God, yeah. I kind of have to because I feel to report on something, I kind of want to report through experience. So like to get a character in Pocket Camp, for instance, then I have to, I have to put in a bit of money. I don't put that much money in. I put more money in Pokemon Go during the first summer, actually, because I thought the developers were worthy of it. And I put in quite a bit of money in Miitomo over the years, and that kind of soured me. I really felt Nintendo should have kept it as some kind of an offline app.
Like a Me Creator or Me.
Yeah, or Me Photo would have just worked fine and just eliminated the online aspects. But obviously, they're bottom end business, and Kimishima was brutal.
Old Kimi-san.
Yeah.
So people are probably wondering, because you are Japanese Nintendo and you play, all your games. Do you play all your games in Japanese, and can you speak Japanese or read Japanese?
No. So my Japanese is appalling. But I play mainly Japanese games. I play in English if I have the choice.
Okay.
But on 3DS, I buy nearly all my games Japanese, and you don't get the option to play in English.
Right.
So I kind of struggle through, just like in RPGs, my motto is just press the A button if somebody asks you a question, and attack if you get the option to attack. And I can usually...
I think that I can only think of 2 games on the 3DS that have language options. That's like Pokemon and Resident Evil. I don't think there are any other games on the 3DS that let you choose a language.
I think like the re-release of Bravely Default in Japan, that oddly enough had, I think, English.
I actually have that, but I can't remember.
Because it's like the second release of it, not like the first, like 2012, and then like the 2013 release or something.
Oh, they do that, don't they? Like they do that for Final Fantasy, don't they call it like international release or something like that?
They did, at least they did it with Bravely Default. Also, it's kind of just coinciding with the release in the West at the same time.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's why they have
there's
that.
3 games with language support then on the 3DS.
Yeah, that's my roundabout way of saying that. Yeah, maybe.
I believe there's another one recently, but
But the fact that we have to rack our brains shows how friendly the 3DS is towards languages, right? Which is why they fixed it all on Switch, isn't it? Like except for Splatoon and Splatoon 2 and Fire Emblem, isn't it? Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, they're language locked, aren't they?
Oh yeah, the Fire Emblem, Musou and Zelda are both.
Right.
I've got the Japanese versions of them, and I cannot download English language, which is a shame.
But it must be a godsend for you having most of the games now are available in English, despite buying the Japanese versions or whatever.
Yeah, it is. I find it frustrating because being British, I get American English all the time. So I'm like, just translate it properly, because that really frustrates me. But that's
okay, James. Now I'm seeing why you brought Brian on. Making this a UK versus America thing. I see.
I think it could be one of the downsides to the Switch being this multi-region is that we do have all the languages in the world, but when it comes to English, Nintendo have been a little bit lazy and just kind of like all the English versions have been one English, like they've just been American English. As far as I can tell, I remember Mario Odyssey having some American English in it. I was like, didn't sit right with me. I was like, okay, I'm playing from a British account, and I guess I downloaded it from the Japanese eShop, but that shouldn't really matter, should it?
No, because you have an option.
Settings.
English in America or English Europe/Australia. I think they're the 2 options. So when you pick Europe/Australia, you expect British English. So
right. You mean the system settings?
Yeah. I think so. I think in the game settings as well. Maybe I'm talking about maybe I'm referring to the mobile games as well. But I know I always click the British or European English, and I never seem to get that.
So do you download everything from the Japanese eShop?
Yeah, I would say more than 95%. Yeah, definitely.
Right, unless it's delayed heavily in Japan or something like that.
Yeah, well, I prefer Japanese developed games.
Mm-hmm.
So 99 times out of 100 they come to Japan first.
Right.
Not always.
Right.
Like Shining Resonance Refrain is not available in Japan until tomorrow or the day after, and I think it's already available in the West. So there's little things like that are like, what the hell, it doesn't make sense.
It's Danny, do you remember if Blossom Tales is out in Japan yet? Oh, maybe Brian, you know that more than Danny. Is it out in Japanese?
No, I'm trying to remember. I can find it. I think it was. I remember blogging about it.
Well, I guess that's not developed in Japan though. But it's a very Zelda-inspired game, and it wasn't available. It wasn't available in Japan, was it?
It's not available yet.
Oh, right.
I don't think. Let me double check elsewhere because.
Yeah, well, I remember we tweeted at the developers and they said it was in the works, but
right.
I guess it's still in the works.
Another kind of a weird thing too, James. Speaking on that type of similar topic, like I just saw that SteamWorld Dig on Switch, the first one, is finally coming out. Is it either last week or it's coming out this week? Brian, you probably know more about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of crazy how long it took for that to come, considering that it was fully localized. Unless there was some kind of an issue with the previous guys that did the localization for the team. I think maybe Concept or something. I don't remember which team it was, or Kosan or something. But
are you just making up developer names there?
Yeah. No, like publishers. No, I keep confusing a lot of them. A lot of these middle type of dudes that help bring over the indie games.
Exactly. Yeah, the Wii U and the 3DS had SteamWorld Dig quite a while back. So they had it. They had it in, I think, a lot short of a time span between the West and then Japanese released in the Switch. But no, Blossom Tales is not out in Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
So, there you go.
When it finally gets here, I'm gonna get it. Looking forward to it. Cool. So you're playing Splatoon 2 in Japanese?
I've got the. So I double dipped on that.
Wow.
So I had the Japanese version, and then like my best friend who I live with, he loved the original Splatoon, and I couldn't put him through the Japanese version. So I bought the English because it was a reversible cover art as well. So I bought the English copy for him, and he's just bought the English Octo expansion.
Oh,
So
cool.
Nice.
He's playing that now, probably while we're speaking here.
Cool. Yeah, I'm still playing that. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I was actually playing that, and I'm wondering how fun it is, because playing WarioWare Gold, the core concept is fun, and I don't see that in the Octo expansion. It's just like compelling with a challenge, but is it actually fun? I don't know. It's a big philosophical debate, but I can't quite get my head around whether it is actually fun or not. But WarioWare is fun.
Yeah, well, I guess you have to be a super fan of Splatoon to like Octo expansion, and just like, you know, just wanting more after you've completed the story mode. If you wanted more, it is more of that, but like, you know, like just different twists on it. So stuff that you've never seen before. I mean, I'd like to see them do that with Mario Odyssey. To be fair, like if they just like remixed, you know, stuff, did harder challenges or something like that, that would be cool.
I mean, really, this is essentially Majora's Mask. It's kind of like
kind of,
but it's a different kind of a release format. So I think they should do that with Mario Odyssey, but maybe not, because maybe they have a 2D Mario planned and they don't want to, you know, they want some gap between the two releases. They don't want.
Is that official? That's not official, right? Is that
no. But the thing is, it should take so little to make in the grand scheme of things that I think one can be announced and released within a 3-month period. So
I personally do not want another new Super Mario Brothers game.
Oh no, I don't want one to play, but I want one for business reasons, because, you know, Nintendo need one. I mean, they should have had one this year because the release schedule has been.
It's got to be Mario Maker.
Yeah, well, it should have been one of the two announced, but we haven't had any.
Well, I mean, just do some kind of a new art style, like do 2D, like, you know, do some kind of sprite art style. Do it like differently than anything that's ever been done before. Make it interesting, make it fun. Make it look like the artwork, you know, from like all the
that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely not out of the realms of like possibility. It's like they could do this. There are tons of games that do similar type of visual aesthetics.
True that. Cool. So, Brian, been playing anything else worth talking about, or should we move on?
No, you know, I play so little. I've been playing a little bit of Octo expansion, but I still play Pocket Camp, because I'm the biggest Animal Crossing fan in the world. So I play it every 3 hours to deal with my animals.
Wow.
When do you think we'll hear about the Switch version?
That's a funny thing, because when they announced Pocket Camp, they said it was going to be work in conjunction with an Animal Crossing for a dedicated machine, and it obviously isn't New Leaf. So I think they have come into a lot of problems with the release of the Switch version of Animal Crossing. I personally think is because there's only so much time you have in a day to do the chores of Animal Crossing. So if you dedicate X and Y towards gaming day, X is Animal Crossing and Y is everything else. And so even if the chores are different from a mobile version of Animal Crossing and the Switch version, you don't want to do both in one day. Even as a hardcore Animal Crossing fan, I don't want to do that. So I think I think Nintendo have realized that if they released a Switch version of Animal Crossing, people would stop playing Pocket Camp. So I expect the Switch version of Pocket Camp maybe 2019, maybe 2020, but I'm hoping it will be kind of, instead of a Kirby Star Allies kind of playing it safe, I hope it will be like a Breath of the Wild or Super Mario Odyssey, where they just go for the best game ever. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's funny how you talk about game design in you can't do two sets of chores. You know, brilliant.
Yeah, well, it is.
Sign me up.
It is. It's just kind of because there's there's no skill involved in Animal.
Right.
It's just you just go through the motions, but it's like a Zen experience. It's just, you know, I'm so chilled because nothing's going to kill me. You know, nothing. You know, I can relax playing it, but I don't want 2 lots of that during a day. It's
right. New to the Switch, you now have to take out the rubbish every morning,
yeah.
clean the floor with a brush.
Can't wait.
You know, I'm wondering whether it will actually be compatible with Labo. That would be, you know, with a fishing rod and
The little house thing.
a cardboard net to catch the bugs with. That would be.
Oh,
just
I was actually
unbelievable.
thinking about the house. You know, actually just having that.
Oh my God!
house
Yeah,
as being a house.
that would be cool. There's so many good ideas, but you know, there's going to be like such a backlash. Anything where Labo and a major Nintendo franchise come together, because the hardcore Nintendo fans hate Nintendo Labo for some reason.
Right. Okay then. Danny,
Probably
who's
got
next?
people who hate me now.
No.
No, some people like the Labos.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ty, would you mind going next?
Who?
Oh yeah, it's
He's
me.
alive. He's alive.
I'm here. I'm on the podcast.
Yes.
Finally. Jesus.
All right. So I spent the last week traveling around the dismal hellscape of the United States.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that was fun. So I did like a little digging through, you know, my old game collection, stuff like that. But
Ty, did you unlock any achievements in Far Cry 5 when you actually went back there in real life?
I'm gonna say yes.
You stepped off the plane and said achievement unlocked.
Right.
You made it, son. Right, 100 points.
Well, let's see. So one thing I did do while I was waiting for flights and traveling around and stuff is I played through ActRaiser entirely on my phone touchscreen to see how that would go.
Wow.
Conclusion: phone touchscreens are not good for action games. Yeah.
Breaking news. Jesus.
Yeah, but you know, it was doable. I probably lost a few more lives than I would normally, but yeah, it underscores the need for me to get one of those fancy little micro USB controllers that I can set my phone into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the dream right there.
Yes, that's the dream.
Or just or plug it into my huge arcade stick. I don't know.
Yeah, there it is.
My traveling companion.
Did you bring that thing back with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The bane of TSA agents everywhere.
I should have known. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a bad time with the TSA. I'm not probably not the podcast to talk about it.
Yeah,
But,
I haven't had a lot of good experiences myself either. So
yeah, so that's like really the only Nintendo related game I played.
That's not true. I saw you found your old Ranma card.
Oh yeah, I did, and I tweeted at the Ranma tournament guys, LOL. Look at this, I found it. Check out this awful cover art.
Yeah.
Ranma might show up in the feedback later on in the show, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, just in case anybody doesn't know the context here, I got 4th place at the Ranma World Championships at EVO randomly.
Right.
Despite not being part of this Japanese in-group that plays it for some reason.
yeah. Well, you'll take it next year, that's for sure. You better. I'm putting money on you.
Yeah. Learn a few more characters. Learn the matchups. Counterpick like an asshole.
Why not?
I'm notorious for that. So I was hanging out with my parents. I showed my dad Far Cry 5 and we had a good time.
Cool. Finally, they could help you set it up.
Yeah.
Directly.
I had to help him set it up.
Okay.
Man, he had a lot of trouble aiming in that game. I think like the default aim sensitivity on that game on the console version is like ridiculously high. And it's a game I think where you would actually tend to do a lot of like fine aiming instead of turning quickly all the time. So yeah, I guess ultra casuals have a problem with this sort of thing.
Well, yeah, you forget people who grew up with just D-pads. You know, you give them 2 sticks and they're completely lost. It's like a whole new alien world to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually I want to walk that back. I don't think those people should be given any consideration at all. Sink or swim.
You're talking about your dad here, but
yeah.
Sure. Okay.
What else? I showed him Cuphead. He was amused, but that game is not for him.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I know from my parents, they had enough problems with Super Mario Brothers back in the day. I can't imagine trying to play something like Cuphead.
Right.
Ty, wow. do you think that we can track? You know how the PlayStation controller has remained unchanged and terrible throughout 4 generations of console.
Right.
I think we can trace that to the fact that Japanese gamers tended not to play games that needed dual analog support, like first-person shooters or whatever. Do you think that mainly like 2D or 2D style games were more popular, which is why the D-pad is more prevalent on the PlayStation controller, even now when very few games are like D-pad only, and they're still fucking insisting on the stupid below the buttons and below the D-pad stick configuration, which no one likes. Well, people pretend to like it, but they don't really.
Yeah, I think there might be some merit to that. Man, it just really gets my goat though that they actually tested like internally having the analog stick in the good position, and their focus testers decided it's better, but then they still don't make the controller like that because of branding.
So that would officially make Sony more Japanese than Nintendo, because even Nintendo says, nah, Xbox kind of had it right.
Yeah,
but Sony still insists that way is better.
Yeah, like Xbox has hands down the best controller. It's like not even a point of debate. It's just so fucking good.
I like the Switch Pro, but at the same time, the only thing that is missing is some analog triggers. That's it. Like, why didn't they do that? It doesn't make any sense.
No Nintendo console in history has ever had analog controls this time. Why would they start doing it now?
Yeah, good point. Sorry, I forgot that.
Nintendo couldn't even imagine such a thing.
Oh yeah,
it would cost $1.
Yeah, that's too much.
Actually, which has the worst D-pad, Xbox or Switch Pro? I heard they're both pretty bad.
Well, I mean, 360 D-pad is shit. It's not good at all.
But is the Xbone like 1% better or something? Or
no, it's pretty good.
Okay. Cool. I saw like an online YouTube tutorial of like how to fix the Switch Pro D-pad, and it involved like ripping apart the controller and putting some sellotape in the middle or something like that.
Oof.
I'm not going to try it, but
yeah. Rest in peace. I don't know if there's anything else I can complain about.
We do have a very nice comment from our good buddy Chris. He's in the chat right now, and
all right.
Well, he's saying a couple of things. He's like, "Hey, is this the point when Ty's actually going to finally get a Switch?" With later on, we'll talk about this later. But Skullgirls is coming to Switch and stuff like that. Is anything enticing you to pick up a Switch?
Piracy.
Piracy. Okay.
Yeah.
Final answer. Okay.
I think when I'll probably when I catch up on Layton and Wright, or Phoenix Wright, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably when I'll get a Switch, when I need to catch up on those series, assuming they're gonna be on the Switch in a large capacity
and not mobile.
I think Tokyo Game Show is gonna have something like that. I can feel it in my bones.
Right. Yeah, I mean those kind of games are good for mobile too.
Yeah.
Like I would just look at the Switch as a mobile system because of reasons that I complain about every fucking week. And
well, Chris did chime in. He did say piracy is an acceptable answer.
yeah.
Well, I think you can pirate stuff on the Switch, but you get perma-banned, right? Or like, it bricks.
Play with shitty wireless users on their god network.
I used the wrong word. Not perma-banned. It bricks the system.
Oh, and when they roll out an update or something.
Well, I read somewhere that like you can play it for a while, but like after a certain time, it just bricks the system randomly.
Huh.
So like they lure you into a false sense of security, and then bada boosh, it's gone.
Oh yeah, that's pretty tricky. Yeah, that's actually a tactic like that a lot of developers use on software too.
Let you play it for a while and then just
exactly. Like a developer will like booby trap a pirated version, so like for the first hour the game will be fine, and then it fucks up later on. And that like really slows down piracy efforts because like a pirate will like try to crack it, then just like test it for a little bit before uploading it. And like if it waits until like the end boss to reset your save file, which has been a thing that's happened in the past. Yeah.
In your face.
There's some pretty good YouTubes about it. Like especially I think there was a really interesting one about, I believe it was Spyro on PS1. That was like one of the hardest games to crack in history, and it staved off pirates for like the entire launch window of the game, like a month or two. So check that out. That's a fun story.
Well, another comment.
Isn't it punishing enough just playing Spyro?
Another comment that Chris did make, he said, Ty is my favorite Nintendo podcaster that doesn't play Nintendo games.
That's right. At least nothing made in the last 20 years. Hey, yo.
Right.
Ask me about ROMs.
Yes.
Ty has played Nintendo games.
Yes.
Fact.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right then.
Yeah, please move on.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go next. I'm probably going to be a little bit quick here. So, yeah, a couple of different things to talk about here. One, it's a game I'm doing for review for the site. It's called Spirit Sphere DX. It came out last week. I think it was like July 2nd or something. And when you first basically see this game, at least when I first saw this game, you take a look at some screenshots and you're thinking to yourself, holy crap, it's a Zelda game. Neat. Kind of, I played and reviewed Blossom Tales, and it's a great game, really great gameplay, great graphics. Just everything about it was just a lot of fun. I was kind of thinking the same thing with this, but then once you actually read like a sentence about the game, you realize it's not that at all. But it is very Zelda inspired.
I thought it was Breakout.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I think the developers and Fabra as the publisher go on to say something like, yeah, it's kind of like a mix between essentially Zelda, like air hockey, and yeah, probably Breakout and stuff like that too. But the concept's really simple. I mean, for the majority of games, it's like a one-on-one. You have one character at the top, one character at the bottom. You're just basically hitting this sphere back and forth, trying to get it into a goal. And yeah, that's basically it. There's a lot of different wrinkles kind of added into it as well. There's a lot of different characters to be too. So most of the time you're hitting this little sphere with just like a regular hit. You can also just run into it, and it makes it just kind of just bounce all over the place too. And you even have like this power move that if you hold like A and you hit this sphere, right after you hit it, you have the ability to control it, like in like really sharp kind of like turns and stuff like this. So it's pretty cool. And
so
then
is this like a one-on-one game only? Is it got any kind of story mode, one-player mode, whatever, or is it just play battles against CPU until you get bored of it?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean there is a campaign mode on this, but their main thing was like, okay, basically playing with friends locally is what you're going to want to do with this. And it's, as far as I understand, it's not always one-on-one, but I don't have the people to come over to play. It's up to 4 players, and I just don't have enough people to come over on a whim. Just, you know what I mean? Just so I can do this. So actually, coincidentally, just a couple nights ago, I was playing with my wife.
My wife.
My wife. I talked her into playing this game with me because I told her it's like it's not hard. It's really not hard to pick up and play. Once you kind of get the hang of it, and we're having some fun with it. I think she even ended up because I was like doing some capture for the review that I'm working on right now, and I think she was like, "Hey, can I have some of this video?" And she put it up like on her Facebook page or something like that, just her and I playing.
Wow.
But yeah, it seems like it would be really crazy to play this game. I mean, it's crazy enough with 2 players, but it seems like it'd be even more mental if you have 2 on 2.
I've never heard you use the word mental before. That's brilliant.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I get the 2 British guys here today, so
it's great. Keep it up.
Yes. But some other, there are a couple of other modes in the game. So like I said, there's a campaign mode that you can go through, but I think it's only just like 10 stages, and it's all kind of, I think it's kind of randomized, like the different characters you face and the different stages that you're going to be at and stuff. And, once you clear that, it's kind of very light story mode type of a thing. And you're constantly getting coins in this game too. And you can use these coins to unlock, well, you basically throw it in kind of like a wishing well, kind of like, if you think back into A Link to the Past, there was like a well where you can throw in money, and then eventually, you can get like an upgrade to your arrows or, something like that. It's kind of a similar setup, but you just get kind of random prizes from this little wishing well thing. Like, and they're usually just like things that you could use in the game, like different types of spheres that do different things. Like instead of just the standard sphere, you could have one that's a gold sphere. Whenever you hit it, coins come out. There's a dark sphere, and it makes it so when you hit it, like 3 other spheres are kind of going out like this at the same time. So you're kind of thinking like, oh shit, which is the real one? Stuff like that. So there are a couple of different things like that do keep the gameplay interesting and sometimes a little bit confusing, but still make it kind of fun and challenging. And aside from that, there are like 2 other different modes. There's like a mode called a target mode, where you're not just worrying about like fighting each other. You're kind of trying to, there's a lot of items that just kind of appear in the middle of the stage. And if you hit these items, you get points. And also if you hit these items, you get like a plus on like a timer that's counting down from like 30 seconds. And basically it's just a high score mode. And then there's like a game, you can play squash in there too. But yeah, I mean, it's really, the games are really quick and fast. Like the default score is you're supposed to only score 3 points. So you can get a game less than a minute. You can be done with a game. So yeah.
if you're buying this just to play on your own, would you recommend it?
Right now, I mean, from what I've played, it's fun, and it's not that expensive. If you have the money to throw around, sure. I'd say it's definitely probably a lot more fun with other people, though.
Right. Okay.
So. But the other game I'm playing is something actually I just bought today, and that is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah. So
Brian's getting excited.
Yeah. So I bought this on the Wii U, back in the day. And if you're watching the video version, you can see, I'm showing off the game download card that.
Could you just keep the download code still there for a second? I can't see the number.
Yeah. Let me just turn this around and peel this off.
Thank you.
No.
Got it.
So, yeah, I mean, James, like you were showing earlier, the ARMS card and like I have some in my other area of the room like that too. But yeah, I really like the art for a lot of these Switch download cards. It's
how much was it?
Like 4,300 yen. It's still like a pretty budget type of game.
That's a budget game.
$40, or whatever.
Yeah, but, I streamed the demo. That's on the YouTube channel. The first three levels.
Right,
so
right.
It's a lot of fun. It's interesting how they moved not the motion control, the touch control to just like tilting a kind of a cursor. Mm-hmm. I thought it was kind of not that elegant, actually. I thought it was a little bit weird to have that permanently on the screen at all times.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I was playing 2-player with my wife.
My wife.
Yes. Again, it was that same night, and I was like, "Hey, let's just give this a go." So that's kind of weird. And my wife, Ty would probably want to punch her in the head because she can't
Wow.
use joysticks.
I would never advocate violence.
Yeah.
How is this 2-player then?
So what they do is you take out the Joy-Cons and you're holding one. Like if I'm controlling Toad, I'm holding a Joy-Con like this, and you basically only need the joystick and like A is all you need.
Right.
And then the second player holds the other Joy-Con kind of like upright, and basically you can use it as a pointer, and you can press A to throw turnips at like bad guys and just kills them, and then you can press, I think it's like ZR, to interact with certain things in the stage. Like let's say you need a platform to raise, you point the pointer thing, and once that reticle goes on to that particular part of the stage, you press the ZR button and it can like raise or lower it or something.
So it has to be, is that the IR camera one?
I'm trying to think which one that's on.
Is it using tilt like for that?
Sure.
Because it was the World of Goo kind of used the pointery type system, didn't it?
Yeah, it's the same type of a thing, pointery type of thing, but that person also has to control the camera, which
yikes.
Yeah, I was kind of. I mean, it makes sense because there's only one joystick per Joy-Con. So
right, okay.
But I was kind of hoping,
honey, can you move the camera a little bit more? Honey, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it must have been inverted because she was having some problems. She's like, I'm moving the stick this way and it's going the opposite way. I'm like, okay.
Is it inverted?
Is that inverted? Whatever. You know what I mean.
It might be, actually, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, when it comes to that, usually for me it's on a per game basis. I just kind of get used to it and then just go with it. But for somebody that's like, Famicom era gamer, joysticks are just kind of weird. I mean, my wife, she didn't really play anything since like Super Famicom. So,
hey, Pilot Wings on Super NES had inverted controls.
Well, yeah, I don't think she played that one. Yeah, but it's still Captain Toad. I loved this game on the Wii U. It's really fun, and I figured it's not that expensive too. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just something I can play with the wife a little bit more, and if not, I'll just play by myself. And I still like it, and I'm really curious to try out some of the new stages. The Mario
Odyssey stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't it unlocked via Amiibo or something? Or you can unlock it via Amiibo? Or
yeah, maybe.
What's the Japanese title, Danny, off the top of your head? Do you know it?
Kinopio Taicho, Susume Kinopio Taicho.
Which means?
Like March On, Captain Kinopio. Okay, Captain.
And his girlfriend's called...
crap, I totally forgot.
Kinopiko, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinopiko. Yeah, Brian, he knows.
Yeah. Brian knows all thing about the Kinopios and Toads and all that.
I don't actually, but I'm a big fan.
I'll say I always like the artwork that I see like on your Twitter and like all that stuff, just from like that line. Okay, in Japan, so
yeah,
there's a line account, the messaging service. They have Nintendo has an account on there, and they always have like this green toad that's kind of like their mascot. And Brian, like, do you actually make some of those ones yourself that are?
Yeah, I have. I have them. I have several designed for my blog each month because he's literally the face of my blog now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. You're a good designer then, Brian. I think it looked official.
No, I don't do the design. I don't do design. I just direct. But no, I'm having a few more made. I'm having a Labo Kinopio-kun made.
Nice.
A Pikachu one, a Wario one, and a Yoshi one made. So that should be on the site within the next hopefully week or so.
You should get them on T-shirts. I'm sure Nintendo would like that.
Yeah. There's a slight problem there. Yeah. I happen to pick a mascot that I don't own the copyright of.
Right. Just call him Mushroom Manny or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of like little circles on the mushrooms, just make them triangles. Boom.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Etsy get away with it, and like half the sellers on Etsy, but I don't think I'd dare risk it.
Bloody Etsy, eh?
Okay.
Criminals.
Yes. All right. Well, that pretty much does it for my new business. James, how about you?
Finally.
All right.
Did I talked a little bit about Fortnite last time, didn't I?
No,
I didn't. Okay. Well, we talked about it being out and stuff or whatever. Played a couple of games. Yeah, I played a couple more games there because our request from our patron this month is to play Fortnite with the whole crew. So I thought I'd get a few games in there, before we do the official stream, which we'll be doing later in the month. So yeah, I managed to. The highest I've got so far is 11th, and that was by basically using Ty's technique of hiding until last second.
Play to win.
Yeah. Yep. I just hid inside a tower and tried to pick people off. So yeah, we'll talk more about that maybe in the next episode because by then probably we've all played and hopefully all played together via the wonders of cross-play because Ty will be playing on the PC or Xbox or whatever, or his mobile phone as he seems to prefer recently.
I'll be playing all three at once.
Get first, second, and third position.
Hey.
So the main game I've been playing, the game I've been playing for review is The Blob Remastered. Although it's officially not called Remastered. It is the remaster of The Blob. I think they just call it The Blob. So this is the written reviews on the website right now, and the video review will go live next Famicast Friday. So does anyone remember the Blob from the Switch? The Wii days?
I remember talk about it. I never owned it, but I just remember it kind of being a big deal back then.
Yeah, it's like Matt Casamassina at IGN. He's a big proponent of it. Like he used to basically just shill for any Wii game that was not some kind of stupid carnival game. He would you have to buy this game.
Oh yeah, I mean I was really big into IGN back then, and
right.
I mean it's completely different now. Not necessarily bad, but you know what I mean? Just it's completely different. And I really think that some of the stuff that they were kind of throwing support behind, it was great because some of the stuff that maybe none of the other websites would have picked up on or anything. I mean, those guys were ridiculously hardcore.
It's kind of like, I don't think IGN does it as well as some of the other sites do now. Maybe like some of the smaller sites, but now it's with indie games. There's 30 indie games a week coming out, and it's good to rely on the smaller websites to recommend which ones are the best ones to check out. Because they don't play everything, but they might play the best ones. So back in the Wii games, it was the Wii era. It was 5,000 shitty shovelware games as they were called. Ninja Bread Man and all that shit was coming out. And they're all kind of waggle and they're all terrible and they all suck and they've all got horrible motion control. And then the games like The Blob rose to the top because it was actually a decent take on a third person action game. Right. And it was colorful and interesting and it was like a unique spin. It wasn't just like a Mario clone. It actually had this thing where you could paint the world and change the color and stuff like that. When Splatoon was a mere twinkle in Nintendo's eye.
Right.
So the game is basically it's exactly the same game, but they've just they've cleaned up the textures, they've cleaned up the resolution, widescreen, whatever, everything you would expect in a modern game. It looks crisp and colorful and nice, and as you would expect it to. And they've taken out the motion control. You can now just jump with a button, which I believe was actually you had to flick up the Wii remote back in the day. Can you believe that?
Is the motion stuff still in there though?
If it is, I haven't used it. I mean, maybe if I took out the Joy-Cons and did it, maybe it would work, but I'm not even going to try that because I'm using the Pro Controller. Why the hell would I do that? And actually, maybe it's even in a sense, even Odyssey forces you to use motion control even with the Pro Controller, and this doesn't at all. So that's the good point towards it, I guess. But unfortunately, maybe the Blob was a big deal back in 2008. I think, or was it? I think it was 2008.
2008, you're right.
And here we are 10 years later, and the game design hasn't changed, and it's exactly the same game. But it's not like a classic of its era. If Galaxy got ported to the Switch now, Galaxy, and they took out the motion control for that, that's fantastic. Because that was the only thing holding Galaxy back was the the waggle. But it wasn't too bad in Galaxy. But you know what I mean. If they re-released it and just had that as like a, you know, double tap on the button or something, that would be fantastic. But like with the Blob, it's kind of like the kind of mushiness of the it's not as slick as Mario, obviously. You know, it doesn't control like Mario. It's a different kind of control feeling towards it, but like it's obviously a blob of ink that you're controlling. But it's kind of like floaty, but at the same time it feels heavy and like kind of awkward. So like trying to jump up simple things takes, you know, it just feels wrong. You know, it just doesn't feel smooth. And it's like, you know, you're just tapping jump to get up this step, and then you'll press it too much, and then you'll just jump way over it and stuff like that. You know, it's really finicky and just like not very intuitive and not good controls. And like, you know, things like wall jumping and stuff, it just doesn't work how you would expect, you know. There's kind of like certain parts of the level where it kind of wants you to do wall jumping or jumping between buildings. But in other places it doesn't want you to do it, and it just doesn't work very well. So like there'll be just like this little tiny little building. You're like, well, I can easily jump on top of that. But you kind of jump maybe 75% up the building, and then you'll just slide down. And it's just really frustrating. Like with Mario would just like grab onto it and just pull himself up or whatever. Or you would wall kick off the wall and then just jump back onto it, right? It would just be, you know, if you didn't make it, you could easily make it with another action, right? But with the Blob, you can't do that. And so it just like feels like you're this like fat blob just kind of like scratching at the sides of all these buildings, like, let me up, and you can't do it. It's kind of annoying. So yeah, basically, aside from the controls, like just the game design itself is not very fun. I mean, there is literally only one thing you're supposed to do, and that's paint. So you just go around the world just painting. You just paint all the buildings, and then it's like, okay, you painted all the buildings, and then this thing appears and you collect it. And then you go through to the next bit of the stage, and it's, okay, paint all the buildings. You paint all the buildings, and it's like, that's it. Like, that's literally all you do. And then there'll be some special places that you have to jump into and like activate something. But like, that's pretty much it. And it's just boring. It's just really, really boring.
You know, you know, like you were saying, it's really kind of weird sometimes to go back to these type of games that have been released, you know, 10 years old, and that they come out again and they don't really update to basically be modernized or anything like that. And yeah, absolutely. What can be something that's kind of seen as quasi-revolutionary, or at least just fun, you know, back then? It's just kind of weird how quickly that kind of just changes around, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. So some games in 2008 might make a good remaster, but this one wasn't. And I believe there was a sequel for this as well, The Blob 2.
Yeah.
That was also on the Wii?
I think so.
Yeah, so I guess The Blob really did really well back in the day. So, which is why I got the sequel. But I don't know. If The Blob was to be successful in 2018, I would have just like rethought it. I would have, you know, improved the controls. You know, for fuck's sake, we've got Mario Odyssey on the Switch. It's like, why would you play a third-rate kind of, you know, platformer on the same console? It just doesn't make sense.
You know, like visually, I always thought that aesthetic was really cool.
It is. It looks. I mean, we've got. I did a little stream of the game, just of the first world. Just played through the first world, and if you just want to see what it looks like, I mean, it does look really nice, and you know they've cleaned it up really nicely. But like, you can't, like I always say, you can't polish a turd.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, you can't polish the, you know, if the gameplay is not there to begin with, you know. So like, what was a breath of fresh air back then just feels kind of like stale now. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that is the case. So yeah, maybe if you're like a super fan of The Blob, I'm sure there were some people who absolutely have real like a connection to that. You know, people who's like Wii was their first console growing up. You know, people who were like, you know, 10, 11 years old when the Wii came out, and that was the Blob. They got The Blob for the Christmas, and they absolutely fell in love with it. You know, maybe you would still like it now. I'm not sure, but even those kids would be 21, 22 now.
Yeah.
So
that's weird to think about, isn't it?
You might as well just get Odyssey.
Yeah.
So the other game that I bought just just for me, not for review, just because I wanted it, was Owl Boy. And this is like an indie 2D adventure game. Not really platformer, but like this has just got like incredible animation. Like, I mean, I'm sure Cyrus knows about this game. Cyrus has always gone on about, you know, the quality of animation in games. I'm confident Cyrus would know about this game. It's just like every single character is so beautifully animated. It's like, you know, beautiful, like not 16-bit, but like, you know, it's better than 16-bit. It's like, you know, it's reminiscent of 16-bit games, but like the detail and the quality of animation is way beyond that. You know, it's like, you know, maybe like, you know, whatever, PlayStation 1 or something beyond there. But it's amazing. It looks so good. And like the main character is obviously a boy, an owl boy. He's not called that. He's got a name, but I forgot his name. But like you can basically jump and fly at any time. But unlike Kirby, which kind of like takes all the skill out of platforming games by just letting you infinitely fly and then having nothing to do with that, this one actually, you know, gives you challenges around that. So you can, like, you know, fly through rings and stuff, but and you've got these kind of partner characters that you can hold in your claws. And then like the first character that you get is this guy who shoots like a pistol, like a, you know, like a plasma rifle or something like that. So yeah, I guess the art style is kind of like what would you call it, like not steampunk, but like it's kind of like a mixture of like the classic RPG, you know, like Chrono Trigger, whatever looking, mixed with a bit of steampunk, but also, you know, some futuristic elements to it as well, but not too much. It's more on the fantasy side of stuff, but like it's a really nice mix. Like it's a unique you know, blend of stuff, which I appreciate. So like you're carrying this guy around on his shoulders, and you know, you can use the right stick and the trigger buttons to actually, you know, fire enemies around you. And then, you know, you can actually drop him on switches, you know, like Zelda style puzzles where, you know, when you have like two switches that you have to press at the same time. So you can, like, you know, pick him up, drop him onto one switch, and then you stand on the other switch, opens up a gate, you know, think along those kind of lines, those kind of puzzles. So yeah, and it's got like dungeons that, you know, but because you can fly, it's kind of like it's, you know, obviously a side view game. It's not an over the head view, it's a side view game. So like you can fly up, you know, left and right. So that's how you're kind of exploring the dungeons. So it's kind of like, it's a really interesting take on those kind of games. You know, it's not like a straight up Zelda clone. It's I can't really compare it to anything really. Well, Ty, the game you've been playing recently, Actraiser doesn't have any flying section, does he?
No.
He's like, I thought I remember he's like is he an angel or something?
There's two parts. There's like the action sequences where you have like a sword guy,
right?
And you
but
run
he doesn't
right.
fly, right?
Right, not in that. And then there's like the town building segments where you control an angel.
right.
And
Well, God.
You fly around, yeah.
Okay. Or maybe like Kid Icarus or something. Maybe, yeah, Kid Icarus would be the closest comparison, I guess. But, you know, way better than that game, obviously. Doesn't take much to be better than Kid Icarus. But yeah, it's a gorgeous game, and it was on the Japanese eShop. It's obviously fully in English as well, obviously. But yeah, really enjoying it. It's like just the art style and the animation, and it's got a really good story, good writing as well. All the characters are like, you know, really well written. There's no voice acting or anything, but like, you know, the quality of the writing is really good, and it doesn't feel like an indie game. Like the production values are like way beyond what you would expect from this kind of like, you know, simple, you know, 2D adventure game or whatever. You know, you can see a lot of effort has been put into all of the graphics and the music, character design, things like that. So it's a real step above, you know. So yeah, really enjoying it so far. I'm only like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours into it, but it's really grabbed me, if I could use an owl analogy there.
Ooh!
It's grabbed me by the shoulders and it's carrying me away. No, I've taken it too far.
Yes.
But yeah, Owl Boy, available on the eShop now. Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, got a few pennies off it using my gold coins, which is always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it was on sale. Yeah, I just remember. Yeah,
Mm.
it was a no-brainer. It was like 20% off on the Japanese eShop,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a few coins to spend as well. So I got like a good $5 off it. It was great.
Yeah,
500 yen or whatever.
Yeah, I mean we've talked. I think we've mentioned this in the past couple of episodes, but what's great now is that there are sales on the Japanese eShop, whereas in the early days of 3DS
I
and
know,
Wii U,
right?
holy crap! I mean, not only were there in the Wii U, not only were there no demos, there were hardly ever any sales. It was just maddening, man. It's just terrible. But
Yeah.
then
The
I can
dark
play
days
cool
are
games like
behind us.
Yakuza 1 and 2 Remix, and nobody else could on the Wii U. Boom.
What?
Yeah, the remaster. Yakuza 1 and 2.
Okay, right.
Nobody
Good
cares.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take Tokyo Game Show coming up in a couple of months.
Mhm.
You'll see your friend again.
Yeah, they'll ignore me again. That's totally fine.
Nagosh,
Yeah.
as they call him. Okay. Yeah, that's me. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, next, let's move into a little bit of now playing at the Famicast.com. And Brian, don't mind us while we shamelessly plug some things that we're doing.
What an asshole.
Yeah. All right. Now playing at Famicast.com. Lots of stuff going down on the website and on our YouTube and all of that stuff.
I hope you like baseball.
Yeah, my God. Last week, I did a lot more baseball stuff than I thought I would. Okay, and this is, of course, talking about RBI Baseball 18 on the Switch. One interesting thing I don't think I mentioned on the podcast or anywhere for whatever reason is that this actually was released day and date in Japan, the same time it was like, I think worldwide. Might even have a European release. I hope it doesn't. But I did 4 different videos for this. You can check that out on our YouTube. Of course, as a review, I did some direct feed footage of some different modes in the game. And I also did a visual comparison between last year's version and this version. So you can actually see kind of how they kind of made some changes. And visually, actually, it looks pretty well. Looks pretty good.
Good job. Our first comparison video, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's fun to do. It's fun. Maybe we'll do some more of those in the future. We'll see. Other than that, me and Cyrus did an episode of Famicast Collector's Corner at the end of last month. So if you're part of our Patreon, you have access to that. And if you haven't checked that out, or you're thinking to yourself like, man, I really want to support the Famicast, well, guess what? You can, and you can get some cool stuff like that. We talk about some classic N64 games. I throw in some video footage of it too. So yeah, get on that if you haven't already. And
lots of effort with that. That was the video version was pretty cool. You can see all the fancy stuff that he was showing off.
Yeah.
Danny's crazy shit from his shelf.
I'm getting more and more crazy stuff. I don't know if you noticed behind me, but I have a copy of Turok, the Japanese version. I just picked up. Just this past weekend. You couldn't say no. It's Turok on Japanese N64. So.
Nice choice.
Yeah, thank you.
Tumbleweed.
I can't believe they let Acclaim publish games in Japan.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Let them. All right. So first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you. We haven't had a thank you on Now Playing for a while. A big thank you goes to Peter Doxus, one of our patrons. He recently upped his contribution. He went from a $3 tier to a $10 tier contributor. So that's amazing, fantastic. So with $10, he can now, he's going to get a postcard sent from us from Japan soon. And he's also going to be able to request a stream to be on with us. Like we said before, this month we're going to play Fortnite with one of our patrons. So yeah, if you're a $10 contributor, you can actually just we've got a list of games that we have that are multiplayer, and you can request to play any of them with us. And some of them have crossplay, and you can play with Ty as well. So yeah, lots of options, lots of fun. Please do enjoy. But if you don't want to throw down that many bones, you can just join the $3 tier, and you can watch that video. You can't be on it, but you can watch it. So that's fun too. So what else we got here? Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the Double Ob video review is the patrons have already seen it. They get to see all of our videos as soon as we put them up on YouTube. They immediately get instant access to those. But for the rest of you, please wait till Famicast Friday when all of our video content goes live. It's like a massive dollop of video goodness inserted into your eyeballs every Friday to get your weekend started.
As long as you're watching.
You're welcome. What's that?
As long as you're watching.
Yep. So keep it locked to the Famicast YouTube channel and hit the bell or something. What is it? And then you get notified. You probably get notified when we go live as well. So like, for example, this podcast, when we go live, you'll be able to get notified for that. Yes. Is anyone watching this live, Danny?
Yeah, we have a couple people watching right now. And like I said, Chris is still kind of hanging around in the chat.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you should do that. You should
troll us in the chat. It's totally cool.
There you go. You don't even need to be a Patreon for that anymore. It used to be a Patreon exclusive. Now anybody can join. So yeah, look out for the links in Twitter or on YouTube. If you hit the bell thing, and then you'll get notified.
Tell your grandma.
All of this and more. The Famicast.com.
.com. All right, James. I think you know what time it is.
Yep, it's time. It's called Brian time today because it's the Japanese.
Yeah.
All about news from Japan.
Yes.
And we have Mr. Japanese Nintendo himself on it. So we can actually say, hey, Brian, thanks for providing today's news directly to him. So what do we got going on? Are we going to talk about the NES/Famicom Mini?
Yeah, I just added this stuff in here just as kind of like a PSA, just in case you are out there and forgot.
Available now.
Yeah, available now, just in case you missed out on it when it was released. The NES Classic Mini or the Famicom Classic Mini are available right now. And as far as I can tell, they're pretty much in stock all over the place. So, I mean, if you're outside of Japan and you're wanting to buy one of these, it's not as impossible as what it was, 2 years ago.
Is this the gold one you're talking about?
So they did just do a re-release of the standard one and the gold one.
Gold.
Yeah, that's available now. That just came out.
Now,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The weekend.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And that's the Shonen Jump like 50th anniversary edition. It is gold, and it comes with a lot of like anime-based games, a couple Dragon Ball games, Fist of the North Star, Dragon Quest 1's on there. So I'm probably not going to get it. I was going to, but I was like, oh man, it's significant. Well, it's a little bit more expensive than the standard price of the Famicom Classic Mini. Mm-hmm. I think it's 8,000 as opposed to 6. So, and it only has 20 games as opposed to 30 too. So, damn licensing fees.
So some of my students brought in a Famicom Mini into school today, and they plugged it into the projector. Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool, and they were playing Downtown Neketsu Monogatari.
Oh yeah, nice.
AKA
River City Ransom.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I kind of blew their mind when I told them what the English title was called.
Yeah.
They thought I was kidding.
Yeah, it's kind of weird if you say Kunio-kun to most people outside of Japan, they don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
it's Ricky and Alex. Right?
Yeah.
The classic Nintendo characters, Ricky and Alex.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and again, maybe this is something that Brian probably knows a little bit about as well. So
yeah, Brian, tell us all about the new 2DS LLs.
Yeah, well, there's 3 different designs. There's the Minecraft one, which I'm not a big Minecraft fan, but it looks unbelievable. It's really fantastic. That releases in early August.
Yes.
Then there's the Animal Crossing New Leaf one, which is very good, and the Mario Kart 7, which is okay.
Yeah.
And they both release, I think, in a fortnight. But they must cost so little to make. Nintendo with the 2D screens, low res.
Yeah.
So it's a very good idea because there's a huge gap between the Nintendo Switch and what the next price console. There's Switch is too expensive for a lot of parents, so it's a perfect entry price. So I think it's a great idea for Nintendo. to release all three, and it's probably maybe the last three Nintendo 2DS limited editions, maybe.
Could be.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, probably not. But
The Minecraft one is interesting because that must be in collaboration with Microsoft. So
yeah,
there you go. 2DS LL brought to you by Microsoft.
I know that's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about time they did this. I mean, now that it's finally on the 3DS/2DS, you know, why not go whole hog on it? It always sells, like, you know, the Vita, which is dead. You know, even that, you know, people still play Minecraft on that for some reason.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, in Japan at least, anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you look at the sales charts, like on Nintendo's website or
Right.
eShop, stuff like that, even Minecraft 3DS version is always like up there, pretty close to the top. You know, it's
Always top 5. Always.
yeah, just still crazy. I mean, it's been all these years, well, a couple of years at least already, and it's still up there. Same on the Wii U. If you go check that out. I mean, maybe there's like, you know, for the Wii U, for the Wii U's case, maybe there's like 10 games purchased in like the past year. So that's how that stays up there.
I know. I hate to think how few you'd have to sell to be like number 5 in the charts. I think maybe a dozen, half a dozen.
Yeah.
Can't be
Oh,
much more.
God.
Brian, how do you think they can get the Switch price down in any country? Do you think they can do that like this year?
Well, they have in
Keep the
Canada.
model?
I don't. There may be some Black Friday sales, but while there's a demand, and there will be a demand around November and December, that I can't see it this year.
Yeah.
I'll watch me be completely wrong now when they announce a $50 price cut tomorrow. But
the idea that we had thrown around was, you know, take out the dock and just have like the Switch and the charger and something like that. You know, try and remove as much as they can.
They have done that on the My Nintendo store in Japan, but it's not available for public sale, which I don't believe it's available on Amazon or elsewhere.
Yeah,
and it's not available in the rest of the world, which is kind of surprising because it's a way to save money. And I mean, Nintendo, they're not handing over their saving to the buyer. I mean, they're making a huge chunk of profit from each one of those.
Yeah. I mean, even with that bundle though, it's still kind of expensive. It's still like
very
5,000 yen. I mean, it's only like 5,000 yen cheaper than, you know, $50 cheaper than the regular unit itself. So it's I was kind of taken back by that.
But that's Japan though. Japan where everything's expensive. Like if they did that in the West, I could see them passing a little bit more of the savings on to the consumer. Maybe making it
I'm not so sure.
230 or something like that. Maybe, yeah.
I mean, it's just, if you look at the price of the, you know, this is the dock itself. What, it's like $80-$90, you know, 8,000, 9,000 yen. And it's like this, they take the dock out and you're still like, it doesn't even come even.
And the charger's like 3,000 or something, right?
Yeah. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of silly. But maybe with what they're doing with that particular thing on the My Nintendo Japan store, maybe it's just kind of like a test bed. Maybe they're trying to see.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Except, you know, if you sell that in retail, the disadvantage you have is that you can't customize the color Joy-Cons that you want.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously if they're just going to sell it in the store, it's going to have to be, you know, just the gray or whatever, or just the red and blue.
And that's the absolutely cool thing about that My Nintendo store here, that if you get a Switch from there, you can customize, well, the Joy-Cons however you want, which is really cool. But most of the time you can, I mean, when I was trying just to like sign up on the website and stuff like that before the Switch came out, it was just impossible. So, you know.
But could you imagine like 2 yellow Joy-Con? Oh, Brian's just died.
Yeah, my MacBook. Sorry.
No big deal.
Edit point. But can you imagine like 2 yellow Joy-Cons into like just a standalone Switch and then being bundled with Pokemon for like, you know, 250, 260 or something like that in the States? You know, that could do pretty well. You know, without the dock, you know, just make it portable only.
Sure.
And then just have a download code of the game so you don't even have to put the physical, you know, game cartridge in there.
Yeah.
Maybe throw the Pokeballs in there as well. I don't know.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, Pokeballs going to be way too expensive just to throw in there.
That is so pricey, so overpriced.
Yeah, maybe not the balls. You might have to get your balls separately.
Yes.
That's what she said. But yeah, I could see it. Something is going to happen. The way the Switch is bundled, packaged, sold, something's going to happen. I think
It will.
by the
It
end
will
of this year.
happen. It will happen next year, if not this year. Definitely
Yeah,
next
yeah.
year. But I don't see it this year outside of maybe Black Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like there's too much money just to be leaving on the table. It's still
Yeah.
pretty hot console. A lot of people want it. You have the new Pokemon, new Smash, and whatever else they're allegedly going to be announcing for the rest of this year too. So
Oh yeah, like Black Friday deals, as in just the regular Switch, but then you just sellotape, whatever Pokemon to the front of it,
Yeah.
sell it for 300 or something, right? All right then. Next one is a brand new, what is it? J-pop album or anime? I don't know.
I
Skullgirls?
think Ty
Yeah,
knows about this.
Never heard of it.
Okay, moving on.
Wait.
Okay.
All right, yeah, Skullgirls Second Encore Edition. That's the thing with everything. It's coming out on Switch. I just saw a blurb about it on Shoryuken.com. It's also gonna have your choice of the English or Japanese voice acting.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be neat. Just in case you don't have it on any of the 8 other platforms it's on.
Isn't it like $3 on Steam or something?
It's frequently discounted down to nothing. Yes, I kind of feel like it might be like hitting market saturation on Steam. Like lots of people have this game, and it's also extremely good. So if you're a weird Nintendo only gamer, you can play it at last.
Cyrus said we have to say something, right? Because Cyrus is in this game.
Yes.
Right.
And he also contributed to, what was it? He said in the trailer, the Switch reveal trailer, it says you can see Robo Fortune
Yes.
firing her big laser cannon. Hopefully this makes sense to somebody.
Yes.
And there's some text stamped on the side. And Cyrus was responsible for fixing the frames of animation so that the text displays correctly on sides of the screen. So Cyrus contributed to 3 frames of animation on this game.
What Ty should have done in that animation bit, he should have put a reflection of his sprite on the gun so that when it's moving, you can see himself.
Yeah, so if you play Skullgirls, you can see Cyrus in the background.
Yes.
If you pick Misfortune and go to color number 21 or whatever number it is, you can pick the color that I designed.
Oh.
Yeah. So have fun playing this game that Famicast members have kind of awkwardly brushed by in the past.
Just for 3 for 3 frames of animation, it just says listen to the Famicast on iTunes.
Right?
Only frame counters will actually see it.
Next time you back a game on Kickstarter, put that as your name.
Right. Cool. So this is coming soon. We don't know when it's going to be out, but
yeah,
I'm assuming it's right.
Pretty soon, I should hope.
Cool. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy for Cyrus. I'm sure Cyrus won't mind buying it for the 25th time.
Yeah.
He's already put $6,000 into it. Why not an extra 20 or 30?
I know, right?
What price would you expect this to release at, Ty? New console and everything. New audience, new console.
I want to say $20.
Okay.
Maybe 15. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, there's going to be a physical release as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, that'll be at least 40 then, won't it?
Yeah. There's a trailer. Feel free to click the trailer.
Okay.
Chris is kind of making some comments here in the chat too. He said, yeah, exactly. Should have stuck in the Famicast logo. It's a subliminal message. Exactly.
Right.
Is it too late to back it on the Kickstarter?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Right then.
Yep.
Next one is for me, I think. So the next Splatfest is going to be a worldwide one, and I love it when they do this. So all regions are going to play at the same time, and the theme is Squid versus Octopus. So basically Inkling versus Octoling, And the cool thing about this is like if you go into Splatoon 2 now, and they'll tell you, Marina and Pearl, they'll tell you about this Splatfest. I forgot what the exact line is, but it says something like your choice will be projected in how you appear. So basically what that means is whichever team you choose, you become that. Well, you're always going to be an Inkling. Basically, you will become an Octoling if you choose the Octoling team, even if you haven't bought Octo Expansion. Because you actually have to buy Octo Expansion and complete Octo Expansion to be an Octoling. But you won't even have to do that. So during the Splatfest, pretty much everyone's going to choose Octoling, I think.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, come on. Isn't that what everybody's going to do?
Because there'll be the huge portion of people who haven't bought it yet. And even the people who have bought it, like me, some people haven't finished it yet. So most people are going to want to try out, being an Octoling. So I could see this being like, when they do the ratio of like each team, it's going to be like 90-10 or something like that. We've had some really completely disproportionate Splatfest before, like, 70-30, stuff like that. I forgot which that one was actually. Actually, it was the last one that we just finished. What was that? The one that I just played. Man, shit, I've forgotten now. Brian,
versus French fries as your side?
Brian, do you remember the last European Splatfest?
Was it lemon with or without lemon? Is it a pancake? I don't know. Was it something with or without lemon? I remember citrus theme.
Wait, pancakes with lemons?
No. It wasn't.
No, was it not pancakes? It was something with lemon. On my mind.
No, I think you're right. Man, we're gonna have to look this up. It's gonna annoy me if I don't know. But basically, it's gonna be, everyone's gonna be Octolings basically. And so I don't know. Usually people say like picking the side that fewer people are going to choose is best, because that means you're always going to get linked up with a team. You're always going to have someone to play against. But the problem there is that you might not have enough people on your own team. You'll be the only guy on the team. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, where are we here now?
Next bit of news, or do you want to?
No, I'm just trying to find out the Splatfest results.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh man, IGN, you haven't updated your shit. Unbelievable.
Why isn't there a Famicast post about this? Or
yeah, exactly.
Or Brian, why isn't there one?
I'm gonna check my blog. Okay. I'm sure I did.
It is something fruity, and I can't remember what it is. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it was with or without lemon. I'm pretty sure.
But what with or without lemon? Oh no! I got it. I just remembered. It's pulp. Pulp or no pulp.
Yeah. That's right.
And it was. I chose Team Pulp. I chose Team Pulp, and it was like, yeah, the ratio was like way off. Like most people chose like no pulp. I think. It was crazy.
Pulp's just annoying.
You're annoying.
I'm not gonna. I don't have a good argument against that.
So no pulp was 67%. So it's quite a big ratio. But the pulp team won the most solo and team games. So the pulp team was the most skilled, but no pulp team was the most popular. So in your face, Bivens. But I got a bit of deja vu actually, because like the previous one, which maybe it was the chicken, the egg one, or maybe it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. Like I was on my way to being king rank, and I was just like a few points off. And what I did is I logged on about 10 p.m. Japan time, and the cutoff time is 11 p.m. Sunday night. And I'm like, okay, I've got an hour left to whip, to crank out maybe 3 or 4 games to get the last points I need. And I couldn't fucking get a connection. Like no one was online at that point. So like, I was playing like my last game, and it's like I'm always like just like 2 points off king rank. It's so fucking annoying. Exactly the same thing happened again with Pulp. It was bullshit. I was so far, just so close off it. So yeah, that's the only danger of playing like the European version from Japan, is that sometimes you don't get connected. you know. But it's going to be less of a problem with the next one because it's the worldwide one. So
Yeah.
should be good. But yeah, there have been times when I haven't been able to play at all. Like back when I first got Splatoon 2, and some of the earliest Splatfest couldn't connect at all. I just got the the pity C cells just for, registering. I Bivens did.
Hey, I don't even register anymore, so I don't even get that.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be going. That's going to happen next weekend, 21st, July 21st. No, that'll be 2 weeks from now.
July the 21st.
Yeah, July 21st, 3 p.m. Japan time.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Next one, Warframe.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, Warframe is coming to the Switch. This is going to be brought to us by Panic Button, the guys behind Doom and Wolfenstein New Colossus, Rocket League. And I mean, this is a free-to-play co-op shooter, so I mean, hey, free is good. At the same time, we kind of pose a little bit of a question. So are you guys, I guess just asking us here, so are you pro or anti like all these type of ports coming to Switch? Brian, how about you, man? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I look at things from two sides, like from my own perspective and from a business perspective. From a business perspective, I'd say it's a good thing because obviously it would be better if the Switch had more original new games, but it's better than nothing, and the Wii U had nothing. I mean, this is a far better situation, and I'm happy for Nintendo that they're in this situation. But yeah, of course, it could be better.
We had a comment on Twitter about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
On the Twitter, the Famicast Twitter account. Danny, what are you, pro, anti?
I'm all for, more stuff is coming to the Switch. I think it's fine. I tried this game. Maybe I didn't try it. Maybe I thought about trying it on PS4.
Oh, it's free to play, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm not really itching to play this or anything like that. I mean, knowing that Panic Button's working on it, I know that this port's going to be in good hands. So I think that's a good thing. But it'll be there for some people to play, and that's cool, I guess.
Ryan Modolo on Twitter says, no idea what Warframe is, but I'm pro port everything to Switch. As long as devs put the effort in and make decent ports of their games, I'll continue to buy them on my Switch rather than my PS4. Interesting. Well, obviously, I'm a one console guy, so obviously I want everything on Switch within reason. As long as it works properly. I don't want people to port stuff which is just going to look like garbage and be unusable. But then again, even Resident Evil 7 is on Switch in Japan, at least. So even games that can't run on Switch are still on Switch.
They're running on Switch.
They are running. Well, they're not actually running on Switch, but it's playable on the Switch. Let's say that. So yeah, there you go. We got an email today in the Famicast inbox. Monster Hunter World will be released on a brand new system, and then I opened it and it's like PC.
Yes, I saw that too. I was like, whoa, okay.
I think Capcom are just trolling us.
Yeah.
Time to make the switch to a new platform for Monster Hunter. Time to switch on your PCs.
Right. Kind of mirroring what Ryan said in the message on Twitter. It's like kind of the same for me. Even though, I do own a PS4. Sometimes I'm finding myself wanting to have something on Switch more, mainly because I can, if my wife wants to watch something on TV.
My wife.
Yeah, my wife. I know I mentioned her a lot. I could sit on the sofa and play something and not be like, okay, honey, you got to sit and watch me play this stupid basketball game for 10 hours today. Enjoy.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your situation, doesn't it? Like, people like me and Danny, maybe we play portably or, off TV or whatever you want to call it, more. But, if you're a guy who's got the TV to himself all day, maybe a switch ports of everything are less needed.
Yeah.
Like, why would you play something worse quality on a small screen when you can play it in like 4K with HDR dynamic range lighting on
and
your
it's
4K
cheaper.
TV.
Like something like
And it's-
Shadow, or like Wolfenstein. It's like you buy it on the Switch for 60, or you can get it on like
Right.
Xbone or PS4 for probably like 20 now.
Exactly. But for some people, that's not an option. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. So what were we going to talk about next? So does anyone know anything about Warframe? I mean, all I know is it's free to play. I saw the trailer. We've got the trailer on our YouTube channel as well. It's
Right.
like a third-person shooter thing, but it's co-op, so we've got to play together.
I played it once for achievements.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Is it cross-play?
I don't know.
That'd be
It's been
cool
out
if it was.
forever
Yeah,
on
like
Xbox.
2014, I think, is when it first came
Wow.
out.
I wonder why they chose this game to do that.
Don't know. Free to
Yeah.
play.
Free to play.
I think I read yesterday that it is not cross-play. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shame.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Well, it's not cross-play with PS4, am I right?
Yeah.
Never gonna not be funny, that. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry, Sony fans.
Okay. Well,
Well, we'll play it. And if any of our patrons are listening, they probably are listening, to be fair. And you want to play with us, we can do that too. Should be fun. I mean, a co-op shooter, has that ever been on a Nintendo system? Have we ever had a co-op shooter game on a Nintendo system? They probably you can name them on one hand.
I was gonna say maybe.
Duke Nukem 64, baby.
Yeah, Jet Force Gemini, isn't there like co-op on that?
Did I not say online co-op? Did I say co-op?
Online.
No, I thought you just said co-op.
Okay.
Rats.
Online co-op.
Doom on X-Band. No, I think that was deathmatch only.
There it is.
Because there have been first-person shooters with online, GoldenEye on the Wii,
Right.
and I'm sure there's another one.
Conduit.
Oh, the Conduit, things like that. But they don't have co-op, which I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, even on the other consoles, it's not like a common thing to have a co-op story mode, is it?
Right.
But with Nintendo, it's a whole different, kettle of fish. Not interested. Like leaderboards.
Right.
Nintendo will actively remove online leaderboards from games rather than let you have them. It's crazy.
Right.
Okay, next.
Yeah,
Hey,
moving
I
on.
didn't know about this.
Yeah, I just kind of saw this today. I think I originally saw it on IGN. But there's a new kind of a teaser video for the Universal Studios Japan Super Nintendo World. And it's just like, the video's like 30 seconds long. It's showing like Mario, and it's showing like some people kind of superimposed into like clearly, a CG type of a area that looks, there's like piranha plants and crap all around. But it's just trying to give you an idea of what this park is going to be. And still we're still a couple of years out from this thing being fully open to the public. They're hoping to get it open by 2020 here in Japan, just in time for the Olympics. Good luck to them.
I've seen this before. This is not new.
Is it not?
No, this is not new. I've seen this before.
Okay, I'm just totally wrong. Just
That was
please.
their launch. That was their launch video back in the day.
Great.
Hang your head in shame, Bivens.
That's not the first time today, but in the same article where I saw this, Miyamoto, basically there's a Q&A session where he was kind of just talking about how he thinks that Nintendo's presence at this park alone will help boost game sales. And he wanted to say, a lot of people who are mothers and fathers today are from a generation that grew up playing Super Mario, and they are now playing products like Nintendo Labo together with their own children. And when families visit, when families visit theme parks to experience Nintendo's worlds that have been carefully crafted to interact with our characters, I think we can expect to see a synergy with our dedicated video game platform business. And this article says a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things about that. Trying to think of some of the other things that they had touched on.
He was kind of talking about me, mothers and fathers who played, Nintendo games growing up. That was me. But then when he said making Labo with his kids, that wasn't me.
Right.
Because, like I said, I showed the Labo trailer to my kid, and he was like, yeah, that looks interesting. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to spend $80 on meh. That looks interesting. So we didn't get it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but I think basically the gist of like what this article was saying, it was like, yes, okay, Nintendo's presence in places like this is going to kind of, it's just basically better brand awareness. They're trying to get into other things, basically more collaborative things like this, not just, basically trying to get their name just out there a little bit more.
maybe they're going to have Labo World, and it's not only open on sunny days. It gets closed on rainy days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very limited time you can actually play it in the Labo World.
Can't wait.
Don't go on the roller coaster in the rain.
Yes. All right. Well, these last two little bits of news, these come directly from Brian's, website. And Brian, would you talk a little bit about Taito for us?
Yeah, well, they're returning to the home console business, which is fantastic news for somebody who likes retro games. So there's there's 3 games that are definitely coming. One hasn't been announced. One is the Darius Cosmic Collection. It's coming out in 2 versions. One is, I think, just 4 arcade games, and the special edition, which is very expensive.
Wow.
And the 4 arcade versions, and then I think 5 console versions. And the other game announced is a remake of the Super Famicom game, the Ninja Warriors again.
Again.
Again. So it's that is the second remake of the game, because that was a remake in the first place. But M2 are handling the development for the Darius collection, so
nice.
They're going to be very, very good. And I think it's the Tengo project handling for the Ninja Warriors, so that will probably be worth checking out. But they did say in Famitsu Taito that if these sell, then they will make a big return into home console development, including new games. So hopefully they will. I'd love to see them back.
That's like when EA said they'll make Switch games if FIFA sells well.
Yeah, but then again, that I never trust anything EA would say. I mean, I kind of trusted this at a leap of faith, and I trusted the Taito president. Yeah.
The Ninja Warriors again sounds like some telephone conversation that just went wrong, just some kind of miscommunication there. Yeah, we're going to release the Ninja Warriors like again. And they go, hi, okay. And then they just print that.
Yeah. So, and Brian, this isn't the first, isn't a Ninja Warrior game already on the Switch, or is it just part of the arcade?
No, so there's an Arcade Archives version of Ninja Warriors. I think that's on, I know it's definitely on the PS4. I'm not sure it's on the Switch. I can find out right away.
Okay.
Is Ninja Warriors a good game, Ty?
That's one I actually haven't played.
Okay.
No, it's not on. Okay. It's not on the Switch. It's on the PS4. So I'm sure Hamster will bring it at some point. But that will obviously be the arcade version. But the Super Famicom version is a remake of that arcade version, and then this is a remake of the remake.
Right.
Again.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, yeah.
Oh shit! I remember this game now. I made a funny tweet about it like 6 months ago.
There it is.
Of course you did. You can say that about every game in existence, Ty.
I think it was with the comment, "Dress for the job you want, not the job you have."
Okay.
I'll retweet it right now.
How is he dressed?
It's one of the enemies. He looks like a fireproof samurai with a chainsaw.
Nice. Cool.
All right then. Cool. And so Brian, you also reminded us that is it today or this week?
So it's in 36 minutes time. It's the 3rd year anniversary. So of the passing of President Iwata. So
rest in peace.
Yeah, I know it's a sorry time. This is a time in each year in my blog I would take 24 hours off and just leave a post in tribute of him at the top of my page, because it's something as tragic as this probably only happens once in a lifetime, and he was the biggest name, the biggest Nintendo name in my life, apart from maybe Miyamoto and Yamauchi. And I cannot see Furukawa or definitely Kimishima ever reaching as being known as fondly as Iwata. So it's a tragic time. It was a tragic death, but yeah, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to play games and not write about them. So that's what he would have wanted, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Oh, is this the day when we're supposed to do the gesture on the Switch and then we unlock golf?
Yeah, well, that's the mystery thing. Didn't they take it off?
Oh, they took that out.
Yeah.
But will they put it back on again? That's I read some Japanese blog like hypothesizing earlier today whether Nintendo are going to bring it back in a few hours' time.
You have to hold the Joy-Cons in the kind of Nintendo Direct motion and then do that, right?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It just sounds like an April Fool's joke when you describe it, but
Yeah, something that you hear in the on the playground or something at school.
Yeah, exactly. But they actually made it real life. Amazing. But no, maybe not now.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for the news. So we're going to go ahead and move into some feedback.
Oh boy, I've been waiting for this.
Yes. So if you want your comment, question, criticism, complaint read out on the air, you can email us at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can also send us a line on Twitter at @thefamicast. Hit us up on Facebook, Famicast, right here on YouTube, Famicast. I think you get the picture. So, James, actually, we got quite a few.
We got lots to get through. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So go ahead, James. Can you go with the first email?
Yeah, so the first email is from Mark H., friend of the show. He's written in before. He says, I thought he'd treat himself to Octo Expansion DLC for Splatoon 2, as it looked interesting and reasonably priced. Only to tune into the Famicast and listen to me, Grief Bivens, for contemplating picking it up. I love that he calls you Bivens.
Yeah, that's right.
Before finishing the single-player campaign in Splatoon 2, because Danny hadn't finished the single-player campaign, but was going to buy Octo Expansion like an idiot.
For the record, I did not say I was going to. I said I want to beat the single-player before I would play.
Whatever.
Okay.
This contemplating picking up before finishing the single-player campaign in Splatoon 2. This reminded me that I too had not finished the Splatoon 2 campaign. I got as far as beating the Sector 4 boss and then decided, without attempting it, Sector 5 would be too hard. So I went back, played through Sector 5, and the courses were not too much trouble, and then moved on to the final boss. It must have taken me at least 50 attempts, not kidding, but I eventually beat it. So a few things. By the way, I think the Splatoon 2 boss is way easier than the Splatoon 1 boss, but that's just
definitely. Yeah, I know it is.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you for inadvertently making me go back to Splatoon single player. You're welcome. Secondly, the boss design in Splatoon is near perfect, and it's incredibly hard, for me at least, without being cheap. I had to study and learn before I could beat it, and now I could probably do it every time. At first, it took me about 10 goes and to get to the second stage of the fight. And so thirdly, a question: what are some of the best boss fights? He's going to offer up Nightmare from Metroid Fusion, but don't remember much about the fight other than that I really dug it once I beat him. Another thing, are there any bosses that you couldn't beat? One that springs to mind to me is the final boss of Metroid Prime 3, Shadow Samus. Maybe I just didn't have enough tries, but I couldn't do it. Anyway, another reason why I love to have Prime Trilogy on Switch, so I can never have another crack at it. Anyway, thanks for all the great work, and more Japanese chat, please. Even though it seems mundane to you, it's not to us. Yeah, that's true. We should do more Japanese chat, life in Japan stuff.
Well, this is a Japanese garbage bag tie.
So the first question he kind of bundled in with there was, what are some of the best boss fights? Let's do that first.
Okay.
Oh boy, I have a whole list here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're out of time. Ty, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. I think I have a top 10.
Top 10, Jesus.
I just had a top 2.
Let's see. These are not in order, but one that came to mind immediately was Sans in Undertale. Is that out yet on Switch?
No, it's still coming eventually.
Spoiler alert. The boss in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Mhm.
That will fuck up your entire life.
Now I can understand why you are the way you are.
Let's see. The Cyber Demon in the original Doom.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yo, that level is so good. Just the way they design it. Like, you hear him stomping around, and it's scary as fuck before you even tangle with him. And that level is cool music. Let's see. Dizzy from Guilty Gear. Waifu status. Hitler from multiple video games. He's always fun to kill.
Mhm.
One of the times one of the hardest times I laughed at a video game was the end of the Bionic Commando remake.
Mhm.
Where Hitler's face like just fucking explodes. Much like the original. And they replay it like 3 times. And it's like the only time there's blood in the entire game. So it like catches you off guard, like, whoa.
In your face, Hitler.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's so fucking good. I love that game. Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Raiden Cuts Things.
Oh, Revengeance.
Revengeance.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Nanomachine, son. Oh, man. Murdering that libertarian senator was a dream come true.
Brilliant.
Some Americans think he's the good guy. Mother Brain and Super Metroid. There's a boss battle that'll also fuck up your entire life.
There you go.
What
baby.
else? Kefka in Final Fantasy VI. You might remember if you played this. It's like a really long multi-phase boss fight with this amazing fucking song. It's truly one of the video game's all-time greatest masterpieces. It's just that boss fight, I think.
There you go. Noted European released Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for that.
All right, now for some silly shit. When you fight Dracula and Death at the same time in Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. That was hype as fuck. I love that.
There we go.
Right? It's like, okay, we're just gonna fight you together this time. Get fucked, nerds. And last, from one of my favorite Danmaku games, we have Jitterbug and Tyranno Satan.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that there. Or not.
Okay.
Yeah, once again, those names are Jitterbug and Tyranno Satan.
Tyranno Satan.
Right?
Good name for a dog.
The names say it all, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Great games, all of those.
If you do call your dog that, let us know. Right in.
Right. So, you guys got any special boss fights in your heart?
I do.
Yeah, I have 2 to just come to mind, and then this is just so lame. I mean, I think they're great, but it's just like, okay, duh, of course. Fighting the Ganon battle in Ocarina of Time. It's really fantastic and memorable. I mean, I played it so many times just because I enjoyed it so much. Just the, fighting Ganon or Ganondorf and then transitioning into Ganon. It's just so cool. And then just the escape.
Don't remember it.
Okay. And then
it's very rude though, because he's doing a nice little organ solo for you. It's basically putting on a nice little show for you. And what you do is you go and interrupt it and then kill him.
Yeah, but
horrible end to a story.
He rises from his grave only to die again. But
then,
yeah. And then, you know,
Love it.
Ganon in A Link to the Past 2 is fantastic. I like that battle a lot.
That one crossed my mind. That was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Link to the Past 2, aka
Link to the Past as well.
Yes, thank you.
okay, not the 3DS sequel.
No, I haven't beat that yet.
Okay. Noted easiest Zelda game ever. Okay. So I was gonna go with a little bit left field because Banjo-Kazooie, the first one, actually the boss fight is in the form of a quiz show. That's pretty cool. I always like that.
It's fun.
And it's got some great music as well. And also GoldenEye, shooting 006 off that tiny little platform at the bottom.
Poor Sean Bean.
Yep.
Sheeny
Or when
Bean.
you fuck it up and fall off and
Yeah,
you have to do the
exactly.
level over.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so nerve-wracking. Like you're on this tiny little platform. You kind of, you can easily fuck it up. But it's good times. Really puts the pressure on. Brian, do you have any cool boss fights?
Yeah, well, my favorite, my first favorite was in R-Type, the original R-Type. So I like every boss in the game, but
Wow.
I think the very first boss is one of the best designed bosses ever. It's so aesthetic. It's such an awesome boss battle. And that was my favorite ever until Contra Spirits on the Super Famicom, and the boss that just opens the door and climbs through onto the ceiling. It's at the time I'd never experienced a graphical effects like that, and now nothing impresses you in video games because almost everything is possible. But back then in the Super Famicom days, you were impressed by graphical feats you'd never seen before, and that was unbelievable. And it was such a great boss battle and a great game too. So they are my two of my favorites.
Nice. The other question we have from Mark here is, are there any bosses you couldn't beat? Yes. Danny, have you got a top 10, top 20?
No, I'm just thinking of yeah. No, I'm thinking of one in particular. Man, I had got Ninja Gaiden on the Wii U VC, and I was carefully, plotting through the game using save states.
Yep.
And I got to the final boss, and I save stated at like halfway through him, and I couldn't beat him because I ran out of like something, like some kind of like projectile attacks. So I could only like literally just like attack him by hitting him in the head or something. And I mean, after about 50 times of dying, I was like, okay, fuck this, I'm done. So, yeah.
Well, I only have one. There's only one boss that I've ever not been able to beat in the history of video games. And
yes.
Yeah, it's quite shameful because it's a game that I really like, and it's from a developer that I really like, and that's Jet Force Gemini.
Oh, okay.
So the last boss from that is kind of like this flying thing, and it kind of shoots electricity. And Jet Force Gemini doesn't really kind of show you when you're getting damaged very well. Like, the damage meter is not very clear. It doesn't clearly display your health very well, and also when you're getting hit, you don't really know when you're getting hit. So like it can like zap like half your energy with like one hit, and it's just like it's got so many phases to it, and you kind of run out of ammo for the weapons that you need, and it's just like I don't know if I got close back in the day, but I could never beat it, and it was very frustrating. But I managed to beat everything else in that game. It's just not the last boss. It's so
you find all the little bears and all that stuff?
Yeah, I got all of that shit. Just did everything except that last boss. It was so weird. Even did all those little, flying machine bonus challenges and all those kind of like time trial shit. Couldn't defeat the last boss. Shameful. Ty, do you have anything?
Yeah, one that comes to mind was Dracula in the Super Nintendo version of Dracula X. That is some extremely difficult bullshit. Maybe I'll give it another try later now that it's come to mind. But yeah, that boss is extremely hard. Oh, and if it's not too late, I would like to add Skullmageddon from Double Dragon Neon to my excellent bosses list.
Okay.
He's basically a mashup of like Shredder, Skeletor, and the Monarch from Venture Brothers. It's so good. He's like just so like 1990 beat 'em up video game villain. It's amazing.
Nice. Brian, do you have any?
Yeah, there's one, and I hate him. So a few years ago, I replayed through every Final Fantasy game, all the Nintendo ones, trying to from beginning to end. So Final Fantasy 1 and 2, I played on the Game Boy Micro. Final Fantasy 3, I had a translated cart for my Famicom, and 4, 5, and 6, I replayed on the Game Boy Advance. I do own all the originals as well, but for this purpose, a few years ago, I wanted to replay them all in handheld because I also had a portable Famicom that I played Final Fantasy 3 because I was away from England at the time, and so I beat Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2. My biggest achievement in life ever was beating Final Fantasy 3, beat Final Fantasy 4, beat 6, but X-Death on Final Fantasy 5, I just cannot beat him, and it is so frustrating, and I may die before X-Death. That pains me.
You know, man, I think I've played every single Final Fantasy up to like maybe 10, but like I've only beaten 7. I mean, not even just like because sometimes I just get to a point I'm like, I'm done, or just like, I just I can't beat this boss. I don't.
Usually happens about after 30 minutes of playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like but yeah, I remember I was getting pretty far in Final Fantasy 10, and then just got to the point like, fuck this game, and then just kind of just stopped playing. But
it's interesting that Mark brings up Metroid Prime 3, because I think Metroid 3 is probably the easier of the 3 Metroid games, because I thought 2 was like way harder than 1.
I just gave up on 2. It just kind of bored me.
Yeah, I gave up on 2 as well because I just didn't like the game.
Yeah,
but
fighting the final boss in the original Metroid Prime is pretty crazy, right?
Which one?
And Metroid Prime,
the first
fighting like Metroid Prime, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I beat that game on like whatever it was called, phase-on mode, the hardest difficulty. Got no problems with that one. But the second one, that was why it was so disappointing, because it's just like, not a good game. But 3 was like, because it was on Wii, I felt like they made it a little bit easier, like, because they got like the pointer controls and everything like that. But I'm sure you can do it, Mark. Give it another shot. Okay, what are we going on to now? Moving on to some tweets. What is your favorite Japanese exclusive Switch game so far, or at least the most interesting? That's from Craigie at Craigity Craig. Good name. So Japanese exclusive Switch games. How many of those are there?
It's probably a lot more than we realize, but I mean, main ones, the Secret of Mana collection, it's cool. I should probably play it more.
Right. Well, I recently streamed what was it called? Square de Soccer, which is like tabletop soccer. That's obviously clearly the best game on the Switch, if not, any console.
That is really fun game, though. I mean, it's not great, but it's fun. It's really fun to play.
It's funny because like Soccer Slammers by Jules Watson came out like the same week, and they're both like very similar.
I know, almost identical, but accidentally, I think.
Yeah, completely accidentally. But there you go. Okay. Cool. Well, Brian, do you have any good Japanese exclusive console?
There's actually quite a few Japanese-only games that haven't been localized, but most of them are visual novels.
Right.
And I'm not a big fan of visual novels.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the quality of some of the Japanese development on Switch is not actually that high compared to 3DS. But the one game, and it's actually scheduled to release in the West, and I think in August, is Penguin Wars. It is such a fun game. I mean, the graphics are unbelievable. The soundtrack is unbelievable, and the gameplay. I had it on for the Game Boy years ago as King of the Zoo in Europe, if you remember.
Oh,
it's
okay.
a really fun game.
What kind of what genre is it?
It's kind of a sportsy kind of battle game where you just throw a ball at your opponent who's at the other side and try and knock them out.
Oh, like dodgeballs.
It's so fast. Yeah, it's so fast, frantic, and intense. It's like air hockey, like or pong or what 2-player pong, but it's so much more fun and so much more frantic. And few people have checked it out. I really suggest you do. I mean, it's City Connection who own they're a great company. But the graphics, I don't know how they managed to make the graphics as fantastic as they are. They are so sharp. But yeah, it's a fantastic game, and when it comes out in the West, I really hope people check it out, because it didn't make a dent in the Japanese charts.
What's it called again? Penguin something?
Penguin Wars. The Japanese version is Penguin Kun Jira Jira Wars.
Of course.
But it's about 2,000 yen, so it's quite. I think it's 2,160. So it's quite pricey, but I think it's worth the money.
All right.
You know, another exclusive game that's coming out that I don't think it's going to be coming to the West is, a baseball game, a Family Stadium, Famicast, what originally RBI Baseball was based on. And this new release is pretty impressive. I mean, yes, you can obviously play baseball, and it comes with like a kind of like a remastered version series on Nintendo systems only come out like once every 3 years or so. There's a couple on 3DS.
Are those the cute bobble-headed ones?
Yeah, the kind of super deformed type of stuff.
Right.
I'm probably gonna get it. It's coming out August 2nd.
Again with the baseball. Jesus Christ!
I need to get the taste of shit out of my mouth from RBI 18.
Play some fucking other games, mate. Jesus. So next, let's move on some patron comments. First one is from Chris Blackstone. I've heard of him before. He commented on the Danny's 64DD video, which you should all watch. It's fantastic. That's available to the public.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Well, it was a Patreon exclusive for a while. It's not anymore. Chris says, Danny, to you did a fantastic job on the video. A+ production quality. I'm a total nut for history and really enjoyed the info you presented here, most of which I was unaware of. It was so cool seeing the different splash screens, and I really liked your musical choices. How many of the DD games do you have? Really great video, dude. Looking forward to more content like this in the future.
Yep. So if you could look up there, kind of, you can see I have I'm only missing like 3 DD discs. The ones that are like the most expensive ones, of course. But after E3 and stuff like that, and then just kind of getting caught up in some reviews, I've been kind of not being able to do a lot of 64DD content here recently, but I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to kind of pick it up, and because I want to go through and talk about the 64DD games and have some good video content about that up on the site. So
Danny's on the cutting edge of 64DD coverage.
Yeah, I don't think anybody
only on the Famicast.com.
Yeah. So yes, there you go.
There's also another comment by Chris on your RBI 18 video. He says he's always hasn't. Wow, maybe Ty's interested in this comment. I always had an appreciation for Shaq Fu. It was one of the few Genesis games I owned, so I ended up putting a lot of time into that game. I'll have to check this one out. Thanks. Why is this in an RBI baseball comment?
He had mentioned something about another baseball game that's kind of like, it's almost kind of like NBA Jam meets baseball. And I was like, what the hell is this game? And then it became, I don't know, I mentioned Shaq Fu, and then, yeah, that's how we got there.
All right.
And because there's a new Shaq Fu game.
Yeah, I'm sure Ty wants to talk about that sometime.
Nope.
/ every episode.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to some YouTube comments. I always sound sinister when I say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. So Ty,
Yes.
LST, let's get it on now, says, great name.
Third Strike fan?
How do you get to the screen? And he's got the time code here. Why did they allow Haposai? Dude is a boss character. This is for the Evo Japan video that we had when we covered Evo Japan. And Tai, like you mentioned earlier in the show, entered the Ranma tournament. So what is this screen that he's talking about?
Oh, there's a character you need a secret code to pick in Ranma.
Mhm.
And the reason he's allowed is because he's not even that good.
There you go. Okay. Who's this Karmic Wheel guy? Is he just trolling us? He keeps commenting about pizza.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just,
Well, let's just go ahead and read it out.
well, Karmic Wheel commented on the blob stream that I did. He says, "Greetings, you fabulous Earthlings, and happy Thursday. I bring thin crust pizza for everyone. Enjoy." Okay.
This is the worst viral marketing ever.
Right, right.
Well, I love thin crust pizza, so
There you go. On the same stream, Russ Greeno, friend of the show, friend in quotation marks, and also Patreon contributor. So yeah, we like him. He commented, there's this bit in the stream where I kept on getting interrupted by tutorial messages, like telling me how to jump, telling me how to do all these kind of basic things. And in the stream I said, I fucking know how to jump, leave me the fuck alone. But then immediately after that I fall into the water. And my excuse is I was mid-jump and then it took me out of my momentum with this stupid fucking pop-up. And then when I got out of that pop-up message, then I fell into the water.
I don't know, James. I'm just hearing excuses here.
So Ruscut says, I can handle the jump. Promptly falls into water. Classic. Thanks, Russ, for pointing that out. Next one is, I guess it's aimed at me, a guy called Pokepress. He says, I remember you being on Radio Trivia episode. This is again on the Blob stream. With music from this game. You mentioned that the Japanese commercial for the original game being crazy. Now, I totally had no idea what he was talking about, but I'm assuming I was on an episode of Radio Trivia and I suggested the Blob. And I actually had to dig up the Japanese commercial because I had no idea what he was talking about. And I found the Japanese commercial and it's crazy. It's like this big fat Japanese celebrity dude and weird things are happening. It's like paint's being thrown at him and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll have to go back and find that Radio Trivia episode. I'll have to ask TYP what episode that was. But yeah, I was on a bunch of Radio Trivia episodes back in the day when TYP was living in Japan. But I have very vague memories of those episodes. But this guy didn't. So yeah, thank you for reminding me. Next one is from Trivial. He's asking, this is the Resident Evil 7 stream that we did a while back. Oh, there you go. There's a Japanese exclusive good game. That he was asking before, right?
Well, kind of.
It kind of is Japanese exclusive because you can't play it anywhere else. He's asking, did you experience any delays in button or directional inputs when playing this game? Above anything else, this is my biggest issue concerning cloud-based gaming. So we may have covered this on the show, but like I couldn't really notice any delay in the controls. But Resident Evil 7 is not really like a high-paced, fast-paced game. So I would be wary to suggest that it would be flawless on like a really fast game, maybe like a Monster Hunter game where like timing is absolutely critical. It's less important Resident Evil 7, so I didn't notice it. But yeah, but for this game, it was fine. Is my answer. Next one is from the Iconoclast stream that we did at Bit Summit, and he says, "My sister is better at video games than this person." Fuck,
Get good.
Can you just fucking enough with the comments, guys? Jesus, I didn't. What's wrong with that one? I completed the first stage, and
Yeah, I think you're kind of jumping around a little bit aimlessly for a little bit. It wasn't like bad, but
anyway, thank you, Horizon. A week ago, brilliant. Next one, another one aimed at Ty. This is the video that we edited together. Ty's kind of progression through the tournament. So like showing Ty playing Ranma and then interviewing him between each round.
Oh, cool.
So somebody asked, oh, well, this is Ranma SFC _UK. Sorry, UEK. And he says, your moose is very strong. Let's fight again.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the tournament organizers. I
yeah.
believe.
Oh, that's the guy that got second place?
Wow. So he's actually found you. He's actually hunted down the street.
Oh, yeah. We became Twitter friends like the same day or the next day.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah, like even recently we tweeted back and forth a little bit.
That's so sweet.
Like when I found my US version cartridge the other day.
There you go. Haha, American.
Yes.
With the awful cover art.
Yeah, pretty bad. And the last comment, we have another one from Risk Greeno. This one's aimed at Danny's RBI Baseball 18.
This is a
video. Sorry, direct feed that Danny made.
Yes.
Russ says, I thought this was a review. 90 seconds in, wondering where the VO would start.
Yeah, voiceover.
So,
yeah, no voiceover in that one.
The hint is in the title there, Russ. It's RBI Baseball, open brackets, direct feed gameplay. So with, I guess our terminology, if it's not clear on our YouTube channel, if we say stream, Famicast stream, that's usually with our commentary over it. Well, not usually, it is always with our commentary over it. But if it's like just, if it says direct feed gameplay, that's where we don't comment over it. It's just the gameplay without any commentary. So yeah, we've got 2 playlists dedicated to that. So if you want to watch just gameplay, we've got a whole bunch of videos where it's just gameplay.
Oh yeah, we've got lots of different playlists too, so you can check all that stuff out.
There's a whole bunch of videos that we maybe don't mention on the show that are going up all the time. So like, we'll play games and we'll just capture 10, 15, 20 minutes of it without commentary, sometimes with commentary. So yeah, like the Captain Toad one and stuff like that I put up a few weeks back, stuff like that. So yeah, check it out. Yep. There you go. I think that's all the comments we have today. Boom.
Okie doke. All right. Well, that's going to go ahead and bring us to a close for Famicast 129. We're going to go ahead and give out our Twitter handles, and then we're going to go ahead and head on out of here. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. James, where can we follow you?
Today, you can follow me at FamiComplicated on Twitter. I'll always be there.
Oh.
Through rain and shine. Except if you call Danny Bivens.
Yes.
Danny Bivs, I follow him, not Danny.
Yes. Pretty much par for the course there. And Ty, where can people find you?
Super Cat Drugs. You can check out my picture of Ninja Warriors again that I retweeted.
Nice. All right.
Or maybe it's from the first Ninja Warriors. I'm not sure which.
No one cares.
I think they recycled it.
Yeah.
Just for the job you want, not for the job you have.
There it is. All right. And Brian, I'm pretty sure people know, but just in case they don't, where can people find you on Twitter? And basically just give us some plugs.
Well, yeah, I'm not good with plugs. So my website is JapaneseNintendo.com. My Twitter is Japanese3DS. And I'm also just started a podcast called Toad Talk, but that's just started. It's not very good, so I've not officially publicized that anywhere yet, but it's a work in progress.
All right, so that's on iTunes?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, just search for Toad Talk and you will find it. Right. Yeah,
I'll find that. I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
yeah. Seriously,
4 or 5 shows in. So far. but they're
Wow.
only a few minutes long.
Oh, okay.
Wow, this must have been a grueling epic for you then.
Exactly.
3 hours later,
Yeah.
Danny's still prattling on about baseball games. Jesus
Well, let me
Christ.
tell you something about the 1932 Chicago Cubs. Let's not do that.
Based on a children's game, a British children's game. Get over it.
All right. Well, that's all for today. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Hope to have you on again sometime, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, we will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching and listening. See you later.
Peace.
Lates.